Well, here we are into week number 4, I guess it is already. Time flies, I guess, when you're having fun. West Branch comes back home after a week 1 win up at Jessup in the district play. And Jason, good win Friday night. Another good challenge here tonight as they take on Maquoketa Valley, a team up from Class A from last year, but one of the better programs in the state of Iowa.
Yeah, we've seen them before. We played them a couple of times, last time being in the playoffs in 2013. The Bears traveled up to Delhi and lost 38-21 in the first round. We got Ryan Parmley that night. Well, a lot of teams did. He's the second leading rusher in the history of Iowa high school football. So a lot of teams saw Parmley run literally over them, on them, around them, whatever. They got a good football program. They got a new coach this year. Coach that's not unfamiliar. The name, Chris Evers. He used to be the coach at Albernet up until 2 years ago. So it's not a name that's going to be unfamiliar. You're going to see a lot of similar things. You're going to see a lot of 4-4 on the defense. You're going to see a lot more athletic, movements, offense, a lot of different formations coming at you. I mean, that's the way it is now, but that's kind of what he did toward the tail end of his time with the Mitch Harger era back in 2013 or 12 as well. Tried to spread things out to try to get his lead guy the ball, and they've got Alec McDowell. He's a good lead man.
McDowell's a good lead man. They got, is it Tucker, I think it is?
Tyson
Tucker at quarterback. He's a dual threat. I mean, stats-wise, hasn't really shown it, but he was their leading rusher against Durant last week. He's not afraid to pull it. So going to be, again, important to read keys and make sure that you stay home here defensively.
He's averaging 199 yards exactly of total offense so far through 3 games. He's averaging right at 50 yards rushing. He's got 161 yards rushing, so we'll just round it up, whatever. We'll say 50, 60. He's got a little over 400 and some 4 yards passing, I believe it is. So he touches the ball 59% of the offense. He accounts for it. So he stirs it up a little bit. But Alec McDowell is a hard runner. He's got 4 touchdowns through 3 games. He's top 10 rusher in Class 1A. They're deep. Their offensive line runs a lot of nice blocking schemes. So it'll be interesting to see if the Bears, now that they got that confidence back, Stephen, I guess the kids call it swagger, to get a win on the road, the first district game, come back to West Branch to protect that house again. Start a new streak at the Little Rose Bowl.
Well, I mean, you look at how they did it and just basically, controlled that game throughout. Forced 5 turnovers throughout the game, really limited a pretty good offensive squad. You could tell they really got back to the basics, got back to West Branch football, and hopefully we can see that growing from here on.
Well, Coach Tiley had a good game plan. I think the idea was, with it being wet, being a little bit sloppy, we need to get the ball to that number 32 to get him back on track. The second week he only had 79 yards rushing. Coach Tiley, I think the team had an idea to get their all-state running back on track, and they did. But they also didn't forget about throwing the football. Romahart threw for 171 yards, another 75-yard receiving night for Kabla, 73 yards receiving for Lennox. They just split it up really well. 3 weeks over 400 yards offense. 2 weeks in a row over 400 yards offense. We'll take that every week and see where the chips fall.
Definitely. And like you said, back at the Little Rose Bowl, a little bit different. I'm sure if fans haven't heard it yet, going to be a 7 o'clock kickoff, no fresh soft game. We want to send best wishes. There was some kids on the team from Maquoketa Valley Fresh Soft that were involved in an automobile accident. As far as we know, they're okay, just injured to where they weren't able to play. So they're looking to possibly reschedule that Fresh Soft game. But best wishes to them, and we'll have a 7 o'clock kickoff at the Little Rose Bowl here tonight.
Well, it's back to the old way of things. We're kind of getting used to this new wave of style, but the 7 o'clock game, I think, lets the kids get a little bit more relaxed. No slight to the JV football team and not having the opportunity to play, but for the varsity kids, it's more of a normal schedule, so to speak. So there's no, you show up, they're the show in town on Friday night. But again, I second that we wish the best for the kids in Maquoketa Valley that were involved in that car accident, and hopefully there are no serious injuries, and they'll recover from it, and hopefully their team will recover from it, and they'll be spirited on Friday. They'll be playing for their teammates, and they're coming in here to win the football game. They are the favored team. They're 3-0. West Branch is 2-1. And hard to say that teams are favored at the Little Rose Bowl, but they may be the favorite team. So if you're coming to Little Rose Bowl thinking the Bears are just going to get back to, rumble tumble, the old days of winning 30 points every night, don't expect that too much. It's going to be a knockout, drag-out fight.
Oh, yeah, we're looking forward to it. Again, 7 o'clock kickoff. If you can't make it to the game, 6:30 we'll have the pregame coverage with the Bearcast at westbranchfootball.com.